Well, here we are, Red Brook honey. Leap year day. Leap day, February 29th, 60 degrees. The winter of 2016, or at least I think it's winter. Can't tell by the landscape. You can see the hives out there in the back. No snow. This is the 43rd latitude, 43rd parallel. We're in Maine. And when honeybees are 60 degrees, the Mother Nature, as you can see, everything is pretty brown out there. Mother Nature's not producing any pollen anywhere yet. I did see a few crocuses in the yard, but there's only about 5 of them. And I've got about 1 million honeybees here. And what you got is the bees in the bird feeder. So if you're a beekeeper, you need to be careful of your neighbor's bird feeders. This happens to be the Beekeepers bird feeder, so he's not too worked up about it. But you'll notice there's no birds here because the bees have taken over. They're looking for pollen, and they get a sniff of this Meaties sunflower seeds without the seeds on them, without the hulls on them. And the bees are just kind of going crazy. I'm going to later on today, I'm going to have to let them out because some of them will get trapped in there and they can't figure out how to get out. And they'll just get frustrated. But if you look, the bees are playing. They're playing in the sunflower seeds. And one thing that every beekeeper must do is on days like this, put out something. If you're going to have an extended period like this, put out something so that your neighbors don't call the cops and complain about your bees and your neighbors' bird feeders. This is only going to be today, so I'm not going to rush out and do anything about it. But look at them, they're playing with the sunflower seeds. But you know, I'm getting ready. I'll put out my pollen. I put out soybean. I get a pound of soybean flour, the Whole Foods good stuff, and a 1/4 pound of brewer's yeast, and I mix it all up in a 5-gallon bucket. And I put that out, and the bees will come and they'll take the soybean flour back to the hive, and it's 35% protein, so they can use it for a protein supplement. And then once the pollen comes out on the pussy willows and the alders and the maple, they won't even go to the pollen bucket. And then if the pollen shuts down, they go back to the pollen bucket. You have to take the pollen bucket in and out every night, or it gets damp and cakey. But these girls are doing a lot of work. For some reason, they think that bird feed is must be some protein in it that they smell, and the seed, they get a good smell of it, and they think they can take it back to the hive, and they really can't. You see them in sawdust piles, you see them in dust and dirt. They're digging around for pollen, and what Mother Nature needs to do is either not be warm enough so they can fly like this for an extended period of time without pollen and nectar. And we're about 3 weeks away from a good steady pollen source here. The way this year is going, the blossoms on the maple trees have started to swell really hard. The maple syrup has been running. So we could be, right now, we could be 3 weeks ahead if it stays like this. The winter of 2010, spring started on February 2nd. So here's a look. If you're a beekeeper, check your bees. Make sure they got enough food. I've checked them all I leave them with an extra medium. They get 2 deeps and a medium is their overwinter chamber. And these girls are just out looking for a little extra. So we lift the lid off so they can get out. But they're a little bit nutty, these honeybees. You know, and I'll take the cover off so they can find their way out of the top one anyway. And gotta love honeybees, I do. But they aren't too smart today. You guys can't do anything with this. These are sunflower seeds. You wait a little bit and we'll get you some real pollen. Now go back to your hive, relax, snuggle, keep warm. Stop wasting energy. This is a total waste of energy, ladies. You're out here flying, you're horsing around. Come out, go poo, do your cleansing flight, go poo, and then go back and snuggle with your sisters and your mother, okay? Because you kicked all your brothers out last fall, so there's no brothers, there's just sisters and mother. Just go back and snuggle, and Mother Nature will get caught up with the calendar here very quickly, hopefully. And You can spend less time horsing around in the bird feeder. Check your bees, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure they're not bugging your neighbors. Bird feeders, wood piles, sawdust piles. Hopefully not swimming pools this time of year. Adios, Red Brook honey. Leap year day 2016.